we can see that. So really this discussion was not so much about the vascular problems as how do you reduce an irreducible supracondylar fracture. And one observation I've always made is consistently there's 1% of the people who are choosing option 5, and there's never an option 5 in that. So I want to know who that 1% is who's choosing that. So anyhow, I think Sheetal had a very nice demonstration of how he does a milking maneuver. I've never been very successful in that, unfortunately. And whenever I've tried that, I've always failed to disimpact that fragment off from the brachialis. How do we move forward? Yes. All right. So what I've tried here is a similar technique to what Sheetal described, but in fact going from the front, because the problems are in front. And I've always found going with a sharp instrument from behind, from a safe to an unsafe zone, is more dangerous than going from unsafe to safe. So what I've done here is to use a curved hemostat. Now this really has two functions. The hemostat, what it does initially is to free the brachialis from the proximal fragment. So I actually sweep the anterior aspect of the proximal fragment to take the brachialis off from that spike which has herniated through the brachialis, and then insert the hemostat, as you can see, and that the curve goes nicely into the fracture site. And then you grab hold of that distal fragment, and then you turn the hemostat around so that you have actually grabbed hold of the distal fragment. And by similar leverage maneuver, you reduce it nicely. So this is a technique I found useful in quite a few cases which are irreducible. So not only does the hemostat clear off the brachialis from the front of the herniated proximal fragment, but then you can use it to lever the distal fragment into place, very much similar to what Sheetal showed, but going in fact here from an unsafe zone to a safe zone. So I felt this is a better way of doing it rather than going from back to front. And then of course you pin it in the regular fashion. So this is one of the reduction techniques. It's not a pinning technique, it's a reduction technique which I found very useful in these irreducible fractures. And then when I went to try to actually report this, I found that it was actually reported already in literature. There are people who have had this idea before me as well. So thank you.